A dark, painful time in their lives.
I keep thinking sometime I want to ask him, do you hate me like you did? Because I didn't know what else to do.
And until that day comes, if it comes at all, she will continue what she calls her ministering to police. And later, that is exactly what we found Pat doing, right here at the Miamisburg Police Department. Enough soup and dessert to feed an army.
Sour cream.
No way any officer here was going to go hungry.
When they come and stand in line, I'm fine, how are you? To give me a hug when they're leaving. They got it.
Just here in Miamisburg, it's hard to keep track of how many times she has stopped by with food.
It's encouraging to have somebody who is so thoughtful. There's a lot of man-hours that went into making a soup for 40-plus people.
What started out as her fight, her battle against drug dealers, helped ease her own pain.
I mean, she's a living example of everyday kindness and little notions that make a big impact on a lot of people.
Even Pat admits it's hard to believe she has been cooking and feeding officers all these years. Long ago, she stopped counting just how many officers, instead focusing on who will be next.
I've got lined up within the next week, Moraine and Centerville.
Making a difference, one police officer,
Cream of mushroom.
and one police department at a time. The perfect recipe,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say?
But she's always got a welcome place here at our police department.
Brown reporting. What an incredible story. Food was good too. That officer was already eating some of it. You can see in that video. Well, the weather pretty good too. 63 degrees. Let's get a check on your forecast. Here's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Kirstie Zontini.
Good morning. That's right. We're off to a nice quiet start this morning. It's cool and comfortable. We actually dropped to 61 now at the Dayton International Airport. Temperatures are still sitting in the 50s for Troy, but Xenia has also dropped into the 50s as well. So a pretty cool morning for us as you're walking out the door. Now, we do have an air quality alert across most of the Miami Valley. This includes cities like Greenville, Eaton, Dayton, as well as Xenia, Springfield, and Troy. And it's just highlighting the fact that later today we could end up seeing poor air quality. And one of the contributing factors is actually the wildfire smoke that's been over the Miami Valley. Now, even though those fires are well out west and in Canada, that smoke can get pushed into the upper levels of the atmosphere. It rides the jet stream and then moves over to the Miami Valley. And typically it stays up higher. But with the strong area of high pressure that's over the eastern United States, some of that matter, the particulate matter, can drift further south and get a little closer to the surface, and that can then contribute to some poor air quality today. So that's one of the reasons why RAPCA has issued that air quality alert. If you have children, if you live near elderly, if you are someone that has lung disease or heart disease, be careful this afternoon. You can still be outside and enjoy the weather, but it is suggested that you take frequent breaks and try not to overexert yourself, as that poor air quality could impact you. If you want to try to reduce our poor air quality today, doing things like carpooling, filling up your gas tank around sunset or sunrise, and trying not to cut your grass in the middle of the afternoon can help to reduce that chance for poor air quality this afternoon. Temperatures today will reach the 80s, so you will want to be outside. We'll be around 81 degrees in Brookville, 83 in Miamisburg, 80 in Greenville. Our pollen count, thankfully, isn't going to be a huge impact to you. We're still picking up on a moderate grass pollen and mold spore count, but the weed pollen, which was high yesterday, has dropped off a little bit. So at least your allergies hopefully won't be a huge issue to you. Tonight we're going to dip down to 62 degrees. Looking at Futurecast today, not only will we have the haze from the wildfire smoke, but we will also get a little bit of scattered cloud cover, especially as we head into the late afternoon and evening. Then as we get into our early Friday morning, if you're north of I-70, there will be some thunderstorms that'll be weakening as they move into the area. So I do think we will see a couple rain showers tomorrow, mainly areas north of I-70 during the first half of Friday, and then we'll see some dry time for the late afternoon and into the evening. Tomorrow we'll hit 83 degrees. We still could have some haze around on Friday as well. Our 5-day forecast does show as temperatures climb over the weekend, we'll see the heat index values and then some scattered storms increasing for your Sunday forecast. We bring you weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Let's check in now with Sergeant Mark. Sergeant, you hearing of any issues as people are getting ready to head out the door?
Kirstie's been pretty quiet so far. We've had good conditions on the freeway, been in touch with several area police departments, and keeping an eye on travel times. Last couple of minutes checking Route or Interstate 675 between Route 35 and Interstate 70. That's 13 miles. And what we're seeing on the road sensors right now, light volume, you can drive that 13 miles in about 12 minutes. I'm Sergeant Mark Ballard, WHIO Team Traffic.
5:22 now, 63 degrees. New research shows Americans are drinking less alcohol. The booze-free boom that companies are seeing as alcohol sales slow down.
More than 24 muffin products are being recalled because they could be contaminated. Where they were sold and what to do if you have them in your cupboard.